candle next to the body suddenly lit itself on fire. The man knew right away something was wrong. He immediately pulled back the collar of the corpse, and sure enough, there was a curse bug sitting right on the neck. Paul crushed it with his bare fingers. The next second, a magic circle appeared on the corpse's forehead. Paul realized it instantly. This person wasn't actually dead. He was under a curse. To wake up the old butler, Paul followed the clues to an old abandoned house. Inside there was a little girl. But then the next second, Paul quickly drew his dagger. The wound sealed itself shut instantly. He saw them take off running. Paul threw a blade and caught them right in the thigh. They were brought before the wizard's court shortly after. The judge flipped over a tarot card and locked in the punishment. That's when the executioner nearby woke up. And the next second, the man was dragged straight down to hell. Normally when the caster gets punished, the curse lifts on its own. But something was off. The old butler still wouldn't wake up, which meant someone else had cast the curse. Right then, Paul noticed blood on the butler's fingers, and in his journal, 3 specific words were marked. To get his memories back, Paul headed to a witch bar. He found a dreamwalker named Chloe and asked for her help. After drinking Chloe's memory potion, Paul flashed back to the day 800 years ago when they went up against an evil witch. But right as he was about to see the truth, a sorcerer's figure appeared out of nowhere. And the next second, Paul crashed hard onto the floor, snapping back to reality. Someone had injected him with a sedative, and he was locked in handcuffs. The culprit was the exact sorcerer he had seen in the memory, the same one who had cursed the old butler. Paul charged at him immediately, but the handcuffs cut off his movement. To break free, he jammed his fingers into the window frame, and with pure brute force, ripped the handcuffs apart. His fingers snapped in the process, but the next second, they were completely healed, because Paul cannot die. Paul clenched his fist, and threw a punch straight at the evil sorcerer's face, then kept going. But right as Paul was about to land the final blow, a magic barrier blocked the hit. Before Paul could even react, the sorcerer released a spell, and sent him flying across the room. And that hit knocked Paul back into a dream state. The evil sorcerer used the opening to cast a spell, and set the entire house on fire. At the most dangerous moment, Chloe pulled Paul out with an antidote. The sorcerer saw things going south, and immediately cast a spell to escape. Paul grabbed onto him, but it was a second too late. The sorcerer vanished. All Paul had in his hand was a fistful of beard. After that fight, Chloe decided to use her ability to help Paul. Inside the dream, the two of them traveled back 800 years to the witch's lair, and there, Paul finally discovered the witch's heart was the secret behind his immortality. But right at that moment, the sorcerer already had the heart in his hands. He was going to use magic to resurrect the witch. When the heart was buried in the ground, countless vines burst up from the soil and completely surrounded the sacrifice. By the time Paul got there, it was already over. The evil witch had fully come back to life.